Hi guys, welcome back to the show. My name is Clayton Johnson. I'm sitting down here with my buddy Stephen Graham at MMA Marathon Academy. So if you've been hanging out with us for a while, you know this show is all about pulling back the layers and what it truly means to hold the line, to face pressure, and to live out your purpose. In our previous episode, we had an incredible conversation with my boy Cohen Shesky, and today we're keeping that same high level energy rolling. So my guest today is an absolute force on both the mats and in the cage. He is a BJJ black belt, a professional mixed martial artist with over a decade of high-level competition experience under major banners like Bellator, FAC, Synergy, Shamrock, and LFA. An instructor coaching the next generation over at Marathon MMA Academy and a devout follower of Jesus Christ. He's got 3 amateur titles, 2 professional titles with a professional record of 14-8. If we can just give a big hand and thank you, Stephen Golden Graham, for coming to the show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That was a beautiful intro.
Yeah, man, I got you, bro. Thanks for sitting down with me, man. I was super excited for this interview ever since you expressed interest in wanting to talk about fighting and jiu-jitsu and most importantly, your faith.
Yeah, it's just, I love talking about all those things. So like, it was just a natural progression to just sit down and talk about all of it.
Awesome, man. So let's start in the cage. For professional mixed martial artists, there are 2 primary ways to finish a fight before the judges get involved, right? And that's a knockout or a submission. What is the psychological and physical difference between knocking someone out versus sinking in a submission and getting them to tap? And which one do you think feels more rewarding?
Well, I don't have a ton that I've knocked people out, but I would say a submission probably feels better because the person actually like has to quit, has to say uncle, if you will. So that one probably like would like feel the best. And honestly, like I do pray before like I get into every fight. So, and I pray for both myself and my opponent. So like knocking someone out, like in the moment it feels good, but I do hope that they're okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the end of the day, this is a sport. It's like, I don't want to change somebody's life, for the worse. So if we can all walk out with everything that we came with, then that's a good day.
Yeah, man. I love that mentality. Have you ever had a fight with somebody where they felt like they were trying to change your life for the worse?
I mean, when you're in there, it feels like we're both trying to do it, but there's definitely been a couple guys that have like had some really, really bad intentions towards me and like talked a lot of crap beforehand. And but I'm actually undefeated against guys who like talk crap against me.
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure it does. Okay, so switching over to pure grappling, how long have you been a black belt in jiu-jitsu?
I got my black belt in 2021, so about 5 years. It was one of the biggest achievements of my life. It took me 12 years to get, and it was. But I always say this: like, your belt doesn't technically mean anything. If I put a white belt on right now, I still have the same skills, right? So it's all about how you carry it and how your skills show it and how you are as a person, for that matter. Like the person I was as a white belt versus the person I am as a black belt is completely different. Like I've grown and aged and like just been able to evolve myself with the sport. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, like, I always say jiu-jitsu changed my life. So without jiu-jitsu, I would be in jail, dead, something like that, you know, because I needed an outlet for myself. So
yeah, so you were about what, 23 when you got into jiu-jitsu?
I was actually 18.
18, okay.
Yeah, I was like fresh out of high school, and I knew 2 things. I knew I wanted to be a personal trainer, and I knew I wanted to be a professional fighter. And within 4 years or something like that, I was both. So I had a Muscle and Fitness magazine, and it had a ISSA certification in it. And I lived with my parents at the time because I was like 16 or 17. And I was like, hey, what does this mean? And my mom was like, well, you can teach people to work out. And I was like, I can give people the feeling that I have when I work out. I was like, I'm in. So for, you know, the last like 15 years, I've been a personal trainer and I've been a coach, both on the mats and both with weights and stuff like that. So
describe that feeling when you get to work out.
Just like the super high endorphins and just like the way you feel after. Maybe not during, because like during a workout is like pretty tough, but like that runner's high, if you will, or just like the feeling of accomplishment after you've like done a good workout or a hard workout or even a light workout for that matter. Like, I just know like my day is always better.
Yeah.
Once I've worked out, because like it makes the rest of the day easier because you've kind of just like released some of that stress that builds up and carries in your life.
Do you prefer to train in the mornings because of that versus the evenings?
Well, I train as much as I humanly can. Yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely, if I haven't worked out by noon, I'm probably a little bit more antsy.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I get that, man. I love training jiu-jitsu in the morning and then going into work, and I feel like I've already done like the hardest part of my day. I started out that way.
Yes.
And just has me like clear-minded and ready to tackle the day. So looking back to being a white belt, what was the number one piece of advice or tip you would give to a white belt getting into the sport?
Oh, number one piece of advice. Can I give two?
Yeah, man, of course. I'll take it all. I'm still a white belt. I've been a white belt since 2019, man.
The first thing I would say is do not care about the belts because the belts, like I said a minute ago, do not actually mean anything. Okay. And the second thing I would say is keep going because where you're at is not where you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just keep showing up day by day, it will change you for mainly the positive. I mean, injuries will come and go and stuff like that. There's caveats to everything and ebbs and flows and, the deserts and the peaks and the valleys and all that. So, I would definitely say just keep going and do not care about the belt. Whatever your belt is whatever it is.
Dude, that's great advice. I've struggled with that personally, watching other people get promoted and everything and falling into that comparison trap.
100%. I did the same thing. Actually, funny story. Our coach, Trey Ogden, was a white belt when I was a blue belt. I don't know for like how long of a period of time, but I got technically promoted to blue belt before he did.
Yeah.
He got his purple belt, which is the next rank before me. So he went from white belt to purple belt while I was still a blue belt. I spent 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, 12 years to get to black belt. And I spent half of that time as a blue belt. So I really had to like fully get over like that my belt means anything. I was beating purple belts in competition, purple belts that were bigger than me as well. I remember I put a purple belt to sleep in a tournament and it was one of the scariest moments. Cause like it was like a 6'4" dude. I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
I had a gi choke on him. I put him to sleep because the ref was above us and didn't see him tap underneath. And I went back in and he went completely limp. And like I said, he was 6'4", and I was like, oh, I like backed up and I was so scared. I was like, I killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he was fine and everything. And he was very gracious afterwards, but
yeah, praise God. I guess that's important to show, like, to continue on with the submission until the ref pulls you off in competition, correct?
Right. Yeah, because some guys will say, oh, I didn't tap, and then you have to restart.
The Brazilian tap or something.
Yeah, the ref didn't see it.
Yeah.
So, like, my job is to hold on to it until the other guy does his job and pulls me off.
Mm-hmm. How'd you grow up, man? Did you grow up here in the Kansas City area?
Yeah, we moved to Kansas City from Illinois when I was about 6, I believe. Like midway through, like, I don't know. I want to say it was like my first grade year. And like we have tons of family in the Kansas City area. We actually moved in with my grandma and grandpa first for like a few months until we like found a house. And then we've been here ever since.
Awesome, man. Were you an athletic kid growing up? It sounds like you were into like weightlifting and stuff in high school. Did you play any competitive sports?
I played basketball until I figured out I was really, really short and I wasn't going to grow.
You didn't want to be a Muggsy Bogues?
I mean, I ain't got those hops.
Yeah.
I mean, I dunked one time, which nobody believes me.
Yeah.
Because like, I was
Fixer didn't happen.
Yeah, pretty much, right? I was like 15 and I did all the things. Like we had these jump trainer things that I had my parents order as like a gift at one point in my life. So I could continue to like get up to be able to dunk. And then it was like my 50th attempt. I was like, okay, I'm either going to do it or I'm not. And I did it one time and I barely got it in. I mean, I barely scraped this ball in on a 10-foot regulation rim. And that's the only time I've ever done it. Now, be lucky if I can touch the net, I think. Yeah, I
Well,
could probably touch the net, but I probably can't. I can't. There's no way I'm touching the rim.
I believe you. You know why I believe you? It's because you threw in there a 10-foot regulation hoop and made
I
that
measured
specific.
it. I measured it. I swear. I was super obsessed with it for like a period of time. I played like 6 seasons of basketball, like 3 seasons of football, and then I had a weightlifting set when I was a kid, like a junior weightlifting set. It was like 30 or 40 pounds or something, and then my dad bought me like a bench press set. And after that, when I was like 17, I bought this bar and like weight set from a guy who had like a Craigslist ad.
Yeah.
My dad and I were working, I was helping him on this, one of his construction side jobs. And I saw this ad and I was like, ooh, I want these weights. It was like 400 pounds and a bar and a bench. I had a bench, but I needed an Olympic bar, 7-foot Olympic bar. And to this day, I still have those weights
Oh, that's cool.
and that bar. So I don't know, whatever it is, like 18 years later, I'm 35 now. So, yeah, I still use those. I mean, I used them yesterday.
Yeah.
I have a whole home gym setup and that was the start of it. Like I said, working out is a humongous portion of like my day, or it's the best part of my day because I just get to release everything that I need to and you just feel better afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love to lift weights. I love to run. I love to train jujitsu.
Mhm.
I think one of my favorite aspects about jujitsu is when I'm doing live rounds, I can't think about anything else.
Yes.
If I go for a run, it's a therapy session. Normally a good one,
Yeah.
praise God. If I lift
Mhm.
weights, it's back and forth, man. But when someone's trying to choke me out or
There's nothing else you can think about.
dude, for real. And I haven't found another sport like that. And
No,
I think
there
that
isn't.
attracts a lot of people because
Mhm.
a lot of people have their mind just consistently racing and running, thinking about their problems or solutions to their problems, stuff they have going on. But then you can come in and step on the mats and just kind of turn that all off.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's a great reset for a lot of people.
You get to, you're in a sense fighting for your life. Like it's life or death is kind of what it feels like to you at the like certain moments. And it makes it like so much easier afterwards. Cause like there's no part of your day where anybody's trying to kill you, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Let's hope not.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you said you're about 18 when you got into martial arts.
Yeah.
How did you discover it? How did you get into it? Did you start in like karate or taekwondo or anything like that? Or was it like boxing and jiu-jitsu?
No, I watched The Ultimate Fighter, like season 1, and I watched Uriah Faber in the WEC before it was ever the UFC ever had like bantamweights and flyweights and featherweights and stuff like that. He was like a big inspiration for me because I was a little bit smaller. And I even like wrote down one time I want to fight Uriah Faber.
Really?
Well, he's retired now and can't do that, but maybe I'll get to grapple him one day. I'll probably go to his gym and see if I can grapple him at some point. That would be really cool.
Yeah. For real.
I actually got to walk past him in a hallway at one point.
Did you fangirl?
I wanted to, but I had actually cornered Trey.
Yeah.
And that was his fight that ended in a no contest. So we were like very bummed out and we were literally leaving at that moment. And like Uriah walked past us and looked at me and said, "Tough break, guys." And I wanted to be like, dude. I was like, can I get a pic? But like, it was just not the timing or moment for that. So maybe again one day.
Yeah, for real. That's awesome, man. How did you get into wanting to fight professionally? Like, what was the avenue into that and being determined to go down that route?
I don't know. Like I said, it was just like I watched Uriah Faber. I watched The Ultimate Fighter, and I was just like, I was really into boxing when I was a kid, and I was into pro wrestling a lot too. That was like I think a pro wrestler was like the first thing I ever wanted to be when I was like 7 years old. But like boxing and wrestling were like the things I wanted to do, and I was like, oh, I can combine these two into one thing. So I was like, let's do this.
So what was it like to go through and watch that at a young age and see this new sport of MMA and like how jiu-jitsu came on the scene through The Ultimate Fighter?
I think it was really like fun time because like you didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
It was like even watching it, like when it came out, I didn't really understand what was all a part of it. And even when I wanted to start this, like my mom was like, he's not doing that. He's not doing that. Because she didn't even know we wore gloves. She thought it was just like bare knuckle, like fighting for your life kind of thing. So, and it didn't help that like after like my third training session, I came home and I had a brand new white t-shirt on that I trained in, and it was my first sparring session, and it was just covered in my blood. My mom he told my dad, he's not doing that.
My baby.
Yeah, I am the baby of the family. I'm the youngest. So she was totally against it. Still slightly is. But her and my dad both have been to all 32 of my fights.
That's awesome.
I've always had their support and everything. I can tell you my dad has been to, I've had 115-ish jiu-jitsu matches. My dad has been to probably at least 100 of those, if not close to 110 or so. He's missed a few because like I went to Colorado for a few and he didn't come with me even though he wanted to. He had just had back surgery, so he didn't get to come with me for that one. But yeah, my parents have always been there, always supported me, every basketball game, every football game, anything that I ever wanted to do, as long as it was legal, they were like, okay, let's do it.
Were you trying to do illegal stuff at
No.
a young age? You weren't getting in trouble at all?
I was a really, really good kid. I even got like principal notes.
Yeah.
Like the principal would like write a note to my parent when I was in like 5th grade. And they said, he's such a good kid. He like listens well. He doesn't ever cause any fuss or anything. Then like 2 months later, I got in a fight. But I didn't actually start it. I was getting picked on by a kid. And then that kid ended up hitting me in the back of the head.
Yikes.
And I turned around and he said, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, well, guess we're going. So we started, that was my very, very first fight ever. That I can remember at least. So, luckily lasted about 5 seconds and the teacher broke us up and I got suspended like 2 days because I didn't start it. I was defending myself and the other kid got suspended. Later looking back on it, I understand that kid had like some real problems in his life because he got suspended like 8 times that year for fighting. And he was just an angry kid that clearly had like issues in other places that was getting pushed into school.
Yeah.
And he like apologized to me. We were friends afterwards. Awesome. And stuff like that. So I'm like hindsight is 20/20, right?
Yeah, for real.
So like looking back on it, I understand that like he actually the problem wasn't with me. It was his own life that was carrying into me, and I was just the person he was trying to take it out on.
Yeah, man, hindsight's 20/20 for sure. It's good you have that outlook. How do you feel like kids that might have a similar situation can find a good avenue to work through those emotions and emotional regulation? I think that's a lot of things that a lot of young men, boys struggle with.
For sure, because we just have all this pent up emotion and aggression, if you will, or testosterone, or like emotions and hormones that we don't know how to deal with. Like I said earlier, like jiu-jitsu changed my life. And I would love to watch it change as many kids' lives as humanly possible. Even if you never want to compete, you never want to do MMA, and I hope you don't. It's a very, very hard way to live and to do things, but it has taught me a lot. And I get to pass that knowledge and everything on to other to kids that were like me as a child and like that kid that I ended up in a fight with.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys hear that? Put your kids in jiu-jitsu.
Amen.
Dude, so Stephen Golden Graham, how did you get the moniker, the nickname Golden? Where'd that come from?
One of my training partners, that we were white belts together and we got our black belts on the same day. Matt Skiles. What's up, Matt? We were in the middle of a roll, I think, from what I remember, and he said Golden. And I was like, it literally stopped me in my tracks because we were rolling. Like I was grabbing his gi. I think I was trying to like grab his lapel and he goes, Golden. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he says, Golden. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he says, Golden Graham, that's your nickname. And for the last over a decade, that's what it's been. Yeah. Wasn't my original nickname, but I like this one better.
What was the original?
I ain't telling that one.
You ain't telling that one?
No,
that one's going to the grave with you?
No, Trey knows it.
All right. Well,
Trey knows it, so if you ask Trey, he'll do it. But we ain't getting it on this episode.
okay. Yeah, I'll be nice to you, man. You whoop my butt on the mats, so I'll be nice to you. Dude, so there is a parallel journey that comes with you training jiu-jitsu, MMA, and that's your walk with Christ.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when you decided to follow Jesus? Did you grow up in a Christian household?
So my grandfather was a pastor, my mom's dad. So we grew up in church, and he even owned a church in Illinois where I was born. And funny enough, my wife's grandfather preached with my grandfather in the 70s and 80s before we were ever born.
Wow.
So like our families knew each other before we had ever met, ever been born. Our parents were even together, like they knew each other. And so yeah, I definitely grew up in a Christian household. But one thing that I did was I fell out of it as a teenager, trying to figure out, is this what I want to do, or is this what my parents have like pushed upon me?
It's a common story, man.
So like I had to figure out, is this, I think falling out of it actually is like the wrong term, because I always believed, but I needed to know what I believed and why I believed it. So I had to go on like my own little journey of discovering, is this the thing that is true to me?
Yeah.
And once I figured that out, like I was headfirst into it. I actually got baptized a few years ago with my oldest niece, which was the best part for me.
Yeah, praise God. That's awesome.
So like there's a picture of us. We were coming out of the water together. My hands are raised and she's crying, and I get to give her a big hug. And it's just like, it's the most amazing thing to be able to do it with her. So like I wanted it to be my wife's grandfather, but he passed a few years ago. So after that, I decided I need to do this, and I need to do it now, because I just kept putting it off.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to do this. And then luckily my oldest niece got to do it with me, and she was at a great point in her life to where she wanted to do it. So just an amazing moment and something I'll never forget.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's powerful. Thanks for sharing that, man. At what moment did it all, following Jesus, did it seem real to you, where you feel like you just knew and you had kind of figured it out for yourself, like you were talking about earlier, through that journey?
Man, I don't have like an exact moment or a date or anything. I remember being in church when I was a teenager, and it was like the day I got saved. I remember that. And the funny thing is, it was a church we were visiting for like the very first time.
Yeah.
And I just like felt the pastor, and like I just started like bawling like uncontrollably. I think that was like the moment that I knew in my heart, but then like my brain had to rediscover it later. So, but I have always carried him with me, and always tried to make him like a huge part of like me and who I am. And even like I said earlier, like I kneel down and I pray before every fight. That was not something that was planned or anything. It was just like, I know I need him in this moment. So before my very, very first fight, I got up to the cage door. There was like 3 steps, and I got to the cage door and I kneeled down and I prayed. I don't remember what I prayed, but I know I prayed. There's a picture of it somewhere, and there's probably 32 of those pictures somewhere.
Yeah.
Of me kneeling down right before every fight. And like I said, now I know my prayer is that we both come out of this with everything that we came with.
Yeah, that's a good prayer.
So
that's awesome, man.
I don't ask for victory, because I feel like that's selfish, like, because we're all God's children. I ask for me to perform to my highest capability. And if I do that, then I am completely okay with whatever happens. As hard as that pill is to swallow sometimes. Like 3 or 4 fights ago, like I had probably the best performance I think I've ever had. And then we went to decision, and the judges said that he won. And I still, to this day, completely disagree. But I had a beautiful performance. I performed to my highest level. So at the end of the day, I can't really be that mad at it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that helped you go through that loss with having that perspective of like you gave it your all.
I did. I gave it my all. It gave me a perspective on what I am actually capable of.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I didn't know. It was a 5-round title fight, and I didn't know if I could, because I've always had like a great gas tank, right? Like everybody always gets tired when they're in the second, the third round with me, but I've never been in a 5-round title fight and got to the 4th round, the 5th round.
Yeah.
And to know in there as I was doing it that I could still be pushing. And like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, like I was pushing harder than he was pushing. Like he's backing up tired and stuff like that. And I'm still pushing forward. So
that's awesome, dude. Have you been able to share your faith at all with people that are around you that are in your corner at the gym or just out on the street?
So I've actually had like multiple friends who were atheists.
Yeah.
Get saved and end up in church. And so that is a really, really cool thing to know that just me being who I am. Because I hate the like, well, that's too strong of a word. Let's say. I'm not a fan of like the Christian who tries to push it upon you.
Yeah.
And that's with anything, right? Like you don't want things like shoved down your throat. And I just try to be who I am.
Yeah.
And let you know that this is how I believe and what is helping me through life. So that me being who I am has helped other people in their own journey and find Christ. So that's like the ultimate gift to me.
Yeah.
Is like somebody got saved because of our friendship.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that lets you know like you're like everybody in your life is meant to be in your life for some sort of purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Through that authenticity of your character and how the Holy Spirit has worked in you and how you reflect Christ. That's phenomenal, man. When you're stepping in a professional cage, knowing another trained athlete is looking to defeat you, how does your identity in Christ shield you from fear or anxiety or help you overcome that fear or anxiety?
I would say it definitely helps me overcome. It does not shield me from it. I am scared. I am nervous. Every single time. Honestly, I think it gets worse. Cause like they say ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah.
So my very, very first fight, I had no real like fear. I was nervous, but I had no real fear because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. That second fight, way more
some
scared.
Experience. Yeah.
And as I get further and further into my career, the guys are better and better. So the guy across from me is scarier than the last one. So, but yeah, I think just knowing that at the end of the day, that he is with me, my family loves me. Like at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean that much. It's a sporting event.
Yeah.
As much as it means to me in the grand scheme of life, it doesn't matter. And I even had this talk with people after my last fight. My last fight was like my favorite fight. It was my favorite performance. It gave me the like greatest joy, but it gave me the greatest joy because of who was there, who got to experience it with me. And those people love me and God loves me regardless of outcomes.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons because I wanted to, after the loss we talked about a minute ago, the title fight loss, I wanted to stop fighting.
Really?
I did. But I have a new crop of kids that I teach that have never seen me fight.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to see me. And God willing, they were able to see me. And I had probably 15 or 20 of the marathon kids at my fight. And I said it in my pre-fight interview. I said, I came back for them.
Wow.
I came back to inspire them and show them they can do anything. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. So I made sure that I was there for them. I had a greater purpose than myself. So, and I think that makes it easier. So like you find your why, once you find that, everything else in life is easy because you can always come back to that.
Yeah. What can help people find their why behind fighting or jujitsu or just anything in life?
I think you just have to believe both in yourself, and you have to believe in Christ, that he will guide you towards the right places and the right steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's going to take a while. Like, or it might find you when you're 17, 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I knew in some capacity what I wanted to do when I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that I knew why I was doing it.
Yeah.
Like before, I thought like, I want to be a fighter. I want to be a UFC champion. The reason I'm doing it is for me. Well, now I've figured out that it has nothing to do with me. It's just a platform that God made for me to sit on for him.
Mm-hmm.
And to use to reach children,
Mm-hmm.
to reach adults for that matter. Like I've had a lot of adults say that just through, you know, seeing the things that you've gone through has helped me get through my own things. Like I had a knee surgery in 2023, and we've had a guy who had a terrible knee injury and knee surgery. He said, I know I could get through it because I watched Graham do it.
Wow. What
And
a
I was like, well, as much as I didn't want to go through it, I'm glad somebody could take inspiration from me and use my example as a way to help them get through it.
Yeah. Praise God, man. That's powerful. What happened to your knee? How did you end up having surgery?
Pretty much how I explain it is somebody did something stupid, and I also did something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just blame in the one person. There was definitely blame in both of us. I shouldn't have been on the mats that day. Had a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
Has nothing to do with my knee, but I'll explain why. Trey actually told me not to roll that day. My coach told me not to roll, and I rolled. So that's a great start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a training partner who was inexperienced and was trying something, and he ran square into my knee with all of his body weight and mass. And then I jumped and I yelled, apparently. I'm told this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I think I blacked out in that moment. And then I like fell to the floor, and then the partner who I had didn't know that something was really wrong, which I didn't know how he didn't know, because apparently I yelled and screamed. And then he tries to grab my back, and I was like, no, get off of me. So yeah, the round ended like 45 seconds later. Trey saw me laying on the ground, and he comes over, he asked me what's wrong. I said he blew my knee out.
That's terrifying.
Which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor. They did an x-ray. Nothing's broken. We'll set you up for an MRI, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, what do you think's wrong? They said, oh, you probably tore your MCL. I was like, oh, great. Best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Tear my MCL. It's a 12-week process. Might not even need surgery. I read the doctor's report before the doctor even calls me. I look on my portal online. It says ACL.
Yikes. Not what you want to hear.
Yeah, I literally had a full panic attack in that moment. My wife was the one reading it, and she said, okay, I'll stop reading. I was like, no, I need to know. I need to hear it. Like, as bad as the news is, I still need to know. You know, it's still the truth.
Yeah.
I'm still sitting here with this. So regardless of what it is, you still have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. So you ended up having surgery. What was recovery like?
Recovery was rough. I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely exceeded my MMA pain threshold.
Mm-hmm.
So like clearly I have a good pain threshold, but that definitely exceeded it and brought it to new heights. It was interesting, but I leaned into coaching
Mm-hmm.
and investing in other people more. Like that was my biggest goal. I was like, I can't do this, but I can help people do it.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest goal. I'm like, I'm going to lean into being the best coach I can be. And that was during those, 8 or 9 months, because I had about 3 weeks from the time I tore my knee to surgery. And then 8 months from surgery, 8 months to the day, I believe, from surgery to getting cleared to fight. And they told me I wouldn't, it would take me 9 months to a year to recover, or I'll never fight again. Possibly was always an option. And I was very, very close to getting cleared in 7 months. And then I had a little setback, and that was very hard to deal with, but I was like, I'm almost there. So I'm going to get there. And at 8 months to the day, I got cleared. And for my physical therapy, there's a gong that you get to hit.
Oh, that's cool.
And for 8 months, I watched people hit this gong because they were cleared. They didn't ever had to come back to physical therapy. And I have a few times just to see my physical therapist and just hug her and thank her.
Yeah, check in.
Because she was the perfect physical therapist for me. Maybe not for other people, but for me, she was absolutely perfect. Because she was the right dose of like, I'm going to push you to where you don't want to be pushed, but I'm going to pull you back.
Yeah.
Because me being me, I'm like full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Like I'll run into a wall head first if you need me to. If that's going to get me cleared in my knee, I'm running full speed into this wall. But I would walk in every day with a question. Can I do this? Most of the time, for the first little bit, it was no. No, you cannot. And then it turned into, yeah, let's try that. Or here, let's do that right now and see if you can. See if it feels good. So I would come in every day because I'm a personal trainer. So my body, like, I know, like, these exercises will help my knee. So I would walk in every day. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this yet? And eventually she started saying, yeah, we can do that. Yes, of course. Like, yes, I want you to do that. So she was the perfect dose of like pulling me back when I needed it and giving me the reins to let go.
Yeah. Physical therapy, man. I went through it when I broke my leg when I was 16, and it
I
was
can't
tough,
imagine.
man, but I don't know what I'd do without my physical therapy team, my wound care team, because I ended up having an infection from that leg break. I'm assuming you were on crutches for a while?
Yeah. Or well, don't tell my physical therapist. I was supposed to be, but after 2 weeks, I came in here and I taught the kids class from a pure coaching perspective. I wasn't like showing any moves or anything like that. But I would tell the kids how to do it by like verbalizing everything. And I would not use my crutches when I was on the mat. But other than that, I did. And that was about a 6 or 8 week process of me, for the most part, being on crutches.
Yeah. What was tougher, that 6 to 8 week process of being on crutches, kind of learning to walk and trust your knee again, versus coming back mentally, just through the adversity of having a surgery and having such a major setback in your career?
Definitely the mental space of it.
Yeah.
Because you have to stay focused. You have to not let your mind wander, which it will. Like no matter how good your mental talk is, you're gonna go astray at some point. But again, like going back to just my faith in Christ, like I know that there's a greater purpose for everything.
Amen.
So that just let me know, like, for whatever reason, this is gonna help somebody someday with something. And like I said, we had another guy who had a major thing, and he's like, I knew I could get through it because I watched him do it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely the mental space that you have to get yourself into. Like my wife and I went on a cruise. The week I started to be able to run again. I had a terrible cruise.
Really?
For that reason.
I've never been on one. People either love them or hate them. Like, I don't know if I like it or not.
I've had 2 experiences.
I want to do an Alaskan cruise.
We did that. That was our first one. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that's all I hear is just phenomenal things about Alaska.
We came back from our first cruise to Alaska the week I got hurt.
Man.
So 4 days after we came back from the cruise is when I got hurt.
Yeah, at least you didn't miss the cruise.
Right? So my wife planned another cruise about 6 months later. For the simple fact is my fighting schedule is crazy. You never know when you're going to get a fight. I could get a fight. Like, I could go look at my phone right now and I have a fight that I didn't know about 30 minutes ago when we started talking. Right? So, like, it's hard for her to plan vacations and stuff like that. She's like, well, you're not going to be fighting, so we might as well take this vacation. And you're going to be at a good point in your physical therapy to where you can have fun with it and you can walk around and move and go explore and stuff. And I was. But the problem was my brain was still locked in.
Yeah.
My brain was locked into the mission. And the mission is, this thing's going to get better. So on this cruise, I started my running protocol.
Wait, up and down the hallway?
No, there was a gym. There was a gym on the cruise, and it was a very nice gym. They had
That's cool.
a litany of treadmills for me to use. And so every day I'm going to this treadmill, and I'm not running far at all. Like, this is literally like a run for 3 minutes, walk for 5 minutes.
Yeah, like
do that 3 times.
Run walk program. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that was literally where I was at. So I was running and walking less than 2 miles on this cruise every day. But like, my brain just couldn't unlock. I was like, I have a mission. It was just terrible timing is really what it was. So we went to Mexico and explored like the Mayan ruins and stuff like that. That was really cool for me because like that was something like I really enjoyed through like history and stuff. But like the majority of the cruise, I did not have like a good time because my brain was like, you still got to do this thing. So I couldn't unlock from that. So when I retire from MMA, we'll go on a big like 2-week cruise.
Where would you guys want to go?
Oh man, I don't know yet because like there's just so many places in the world to go explore, right? So like, I don't know. Probably somewhere big and crazy because my wife does like to travel and stuff like that. And I've traveled more in the past 11 years of being with her than I did in the previous 24 or whatever it was. So, so she's definitely opened that side up to me. And now, being able to like enjoy it myself where I'm like, oh, let's go travel. Let's go, go to a new spot, a new place. And now I do that with like, well, we haven't been to this restaurant in Kansas City. So why not go try it now? So it's just like opened that side of my brain up more.
Did you get to travel at all as a kid?
Not really. I mean, we did like a yearly vacation or stuff like that, but like nothing super crazy at all. Like maybe I had been to like 8 to 10 states before like meeting my wife, and now I've probably been to like 20 something or so. She's been to all 50.
Really?
Oh wait, I think so.
Yeah,
I think she's been to 49.
Yeah,
she's been to 49.
What's the last one?
No. Yeah, she just did this. She went on a trip with her mom like last year and got to the 50th one. So, and they literally they drove from where they were to that one just so she could say that she got to the 50th one. I think it was Idaho. I think Idaho was like the 50th one for her. Cause, like I said, we had been to Alaska. In 2022, we went to Hawaii, after one of my fights. So yeah, we definitely wouldn't have traveled as much, without her. And I got to fight in Ireland.
Really? What was
for Bellator.
What was that like?
Oh, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because I had barely traveled. And I took a 2.5 hour plane ride to Philadelphia and then a 6 hour plane ride from Philadelphia to Ireland.
So I didn't realize it was only like 6 hours from there.
We got a good tailwind or like whatever it's called.
Sped up. Yeah, they got you.
Because it was supposed to take 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we got there in a beautiful time. It was kind of overnight too. Like we landed there at 8 a.m. So it was like 2 a.m. here. So yeah, so fighting a completely different time too messed me up ridiculously.
How did you go about that? Did you try to train at the same time you'd be having your Bellator match at? So you'd be kind of somewhat used to
the time
grappling and striking and stuff?
Yeah. I did it too early. Because like here I started waking up at like, I don't know, 4 a.m. or something like that, when I was used to waking up at like a 7 or an 8 to like get up and train.
Oh, so you prepped for it a little bit.
Yeah, so I did that for like 4 weeks just to get my body accustomed to that, and I just did it too early. I wore myself out. I wore my body out, and then just going through a training camp for MMA is a lot. So I think each training camp it gets like a little harder and a little harder, and you have to find and discover a new part of yourself, and you have to open up a new level,
Yeah,
or a new character,
mm-hmm.
depending on
Unlock a new character.
Yeah.
It's the main character energy.
Yeah, there
Get
you
some
go.
more plot armor.
That's kind of what I always try to like find or discover, like a piece of me, or let go of a piece of me that I didn't have before. Like once I've done that in a training camp, like I get a new like sense of purpose and relaxation, to where like, oh, I got that guy now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's usually when like I fully accept the fact that I'm fighting, because that's a hard thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, you have to actually accept the fact that this is something you're going to do. You know, as much as we train and all that, you have to accept like going into like, I'm going into combat, essentially, to like fight another trained human. And that's a hard thing to mentally wrap yourself around. So
how did you and your wife meet? Was it like a fairy tale story?
yeah. So like I said, our families knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a mutual friend that was getting married in Florida. And we had never met. I think we had been in the same rooms multiple times, but we had just never actually seen or interacted with each other. And my mom actually knew her before I did,
mm-hmm.
which is super funny. But we met on a beach in St. Petersburg, Florida. I was coming out of the water, and she was sitting there with one of our mutual friends.
Yeah. Oh, golden, right?
Yep. I was glistening on my way out.
Slow motion running.
Yeah,
like
pretty
Baywatch.
much. Yeah, definitely. And I came out and I was introduced to her then, and I was so nervous immediately.
Really?
Yeah, like I can feel myself shaking right now thinking of it. Yeah, I was just like super, super nervous, and like I was immediately attracted, and then like we both have spoken about it later. That we were just both too shy to like make a move at that point, because we didn't know each other well enough. Long story short, she ends up coming to one of my fights like a year later with another guy. Funny enough. And I started talking to her just in a friendly way after this, not knowing that she like later breaks up with her boyfriend. And then we start talking more seriously once I kind of figured that out, and we're flirting and going back and forth. And then we set up a time to like meet, and then it was just like we were together.
Yeah,
and that was it.
I found my person.
Yes, 100%. Like 3 days into our relationship, I told her I loved her.
Wow.
Like 2 months into our relationship, we talked about like marriage and stuff like that. And like we both knew we were gonna get married. Like it was just when. So about a year into our relationship, I asked her to marry me. We set it up.
Like the engagement?
Yeah, we set the engagement up. We went to my parents' house. We had her mom come over, and her mom was probably like, "What the heck is going on?" And then like her mom was getting ready to leave, and I was like, "Hey, I got to do something first." And so I like kneeled down, and everybody's like, "Oh crap, they're about to do this." So then we got engaged. We had about a year and some change, like engagement, and then we got married in Texas, where she is from. A beautiful wedding venue. I wish, or well, no, I don't wish, but if it was up to me, we would have just got married immediately. We went to the courthouse, get married, save our money, but she always wanted like a big wedding.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, she's not a super needy woman. She doesn't like want for everything. and stuff like that. I was like, okay, if this is the thing that you want, this is the thing we will make happen. So I didn't want or need a huge wedding or a wedding with anybody, because like this is between you and I. But since you were a little girl, you wanted this. So I was like, as your husband, this is what we'll do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very fair. I agree with you, man. Do you have any marriage advice or tips for what is a good way to keep Christ at the center of your marriage and have happy and healthy marriage and lifestyle and communication together?
Communication is key.
Yeah.
Being as open and honest as you can at all times. I'm a terrible liar, so I just don't. And this is at all facets of my life. I am very blunt. I straight to the point. I don't really have like this filter that says like, oh, it's okay and we should blah, 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 blah. No, I don't have that filter. My mom always told me to be honest. So 35 years in, here I am. I'm extremely honest and open. If there is a problem, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to fix it and make it happen now. I'm not, Kevin Hart has a joke. He's like, if there's a problem, I just want to let it float in the air and disappear. No, we deal with this. If we got an issue, let's deal with it. Let's deal with it now. So being open and honest, and just keeping Christ at the forefront of your marriage. Like we did the tying of the knot ceremony.
Oh, that's cool.
At the end of the end of the ceremony of our wedding, to tie us to Christ for forever.
Amen. I love it, man. That's beautiful. So wrapping up, I reached out to some of the homies here at Marathon, and they had some questions I should ask you.
Okay.
So
okay.
Just to prepare you, and I'm not familiar with most of these at all, so you're gonna have to explain the stories.
Oh, okay.
So someone wanted to know, can you tell us about the FAC belt rack, and did you actually hook fit it, or did the hooks fit the belt? There's some kind of story behind this with your last fight.
Okay. So the fight that we talked about, previously that I lost, the title fight that I lost. Before that fight, I put these belt holders in my garage gym for the FAC belt that I wholeheartedly believed I was going to get on October 12th, 2024. Later knowing it was February 7th, 2026. I did not fit it to the actual FAC title. I had an amateur title that the FAC title looked the most like. So I was like, I'm going to put this on the wall. And then my dad like screwed into the wall these two belt holders. I put the FAC title on it for the first time, February 8th. So the morning after I fought this year. And it fit absolutely perfectly.
Oh, look at that.
It was made to be there. So it still sits there. I put it in front of I have a sauna I have an infrared sauna in my garage gym, and I put it in front of the window. So like I'll look up and I'll see that in the sauna window. But for 18 months, it sat empty. So I stared at that every time I was in the sauna, knowing that, again, I felt like I was wronged by the decision on October 12th, 2024. I felt like I won, but it was all worth it February 7th, 2026.
Yeah.
And I got to actually put that on those hooks. And now I get to look at it as like a great accomplishment that I reached and finally got over that hump or that hill. I climbed that mountain.
Dude, that's sick, man. So you brought it up. You have that infrared sauna. I heard you're a big sauna guy. Why is that? Is it strictly to help with the weight cuts and physical recovery? Or is there like a mental or spiritual aspect when you're sitting in the sauna? Or do you just like to be a sweaty bald man outside of the gym as well?
Who said sweaty bald man? That's what I want to know. It's all of the above, really. There's a great mental clarity that I end up with for being in the sauna. I do like to keep myself heat acclimated, is the like scientific term. So it is easier to cut weight, later on. And like I said, there's just a huge mental clarity that you get when you're in the sauna. And like, that's a huge stressor too, because like, you're like, I just want to get out of this sauna. I just want to get out of this sauna. It's so hot. Like, and you're just you feel like you're cooking in there. But you just find this like weird peace at the end of it, or at least I do. And yeah, I'm not like as big a sauna guy as like Trey is, but I do like being in the sauna just for like a good period of time, get a nice sweat, feel like it just clears and detoxes me. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a really great investment that I made. I would definitely say if you could get a sauna or you could have access to a sauna, I think it's good because there's cardiovascular benefits, there is growth hormone benefits. It teaches you to be less stressful in like hotter environments. There's so many benefits, like, and I'm not even smart to most of it.
Yeah. So I recently started like doing the sauna once a week the last 6 months, and I've enjoyed it a lot. How long should I be in it for? I would do like 20 to 30 minutes. It's at the gym, like the local gym.
Okay,
here.
so you have like a real like heated wood burning
where they have like the coal things on there and stuff. And I would do like 20, 25 minutes because the research I saw was like anything over that can just kind of just really dehydrate you, and there's not a whole lot of benefits. So
you should be like hydrating as you're in there.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Like I said, like mine's an infrared, so it only goes up to like 140. So I'll usually be in there from anywhere from 45 minutes to like an hour. But yeah, most of like the research and the science tells you like probably like a 20 to 40 minute, like probably 40 is like probably on your like high threshold is when you should be in there. Cause at a certain point you're going to fry like your central nervous system.
Yeah. Dude, it makes me nervous because when I go to the gym there, I looked up and like apparently you shouldn't bring your phones into them.
Oh, for sure.
And like I leave mine out and I'll have like an earbud in and listen to a podcast or audiobook or something, just so I can kind of go in the zone and just relax for a second. And all these guys will come in before they lift and they'll be in their like full sweatsuits or workout gear and they'll have their phones and stuff. And it makes me so nervous that like these phones are just going to pop or blow up one day or something.
Yeah. I have brought my phone in the sauna. I usually try to like wrap it in a towel so it doesn't actually get heated up and stuff. But I've definitely had it in there way too much. I try to leave it out as much as I can. So
yeah. Do you like to just be complete silence in that sauna, or do you listen to music
or
podcast? Or
anything? It really does. I was given like a TV. So I for like a slight moment in time, I put a TV in front of my sauna window.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. I'll watch TV, and I hated it.
Why is that?
It's just like, it was like distracting. It was very unnecessary. So like I said, it's more of like a meditation time, or I feel like it is for me. So like I wanted it to be like more clearing. And like if I put on music, it's usually not with like lyrics or anything like that. It's usually just like background noise and something to like just kind of keep me on that mood and that path.
What does the acronym ODG mean?
ODG, Original Desert Guide. Okay. So after my knee surgery, Trey coined me the ODG, the Original Desert Guide. So I take this in two ways. As a coach, I am here to guide you through your tough times. I am here to show you the way on how you get through your tough times. If I'm fighting you, I'm going to drag you in the desert and I'm going to show you how far I'm willing to go in this desert that you're not accustomed to. I always say I have desert front property and I will take you to my desert front property where you are not accustomed to. But as a coach, and the reason he did coin me that is the adversity that I've been through both in my life and in fighting has left me with a set of knowledge on how to help people get through these tough and adverse situations. So that was the real big reason. And his big mantra is life is a desert. So, you're going to go through adversity and tough times. So that adversity and tough times is a desert. So you're able to navigate your way through this.
That's cool, man. When you won the FAC belt, that last fight, it was via submission, right? What was the submission?
Guillotine.
The guillotine. Okay, I reached out to one of your training partners and he said you continuously would drill this guillotine on him and it got pretty old pretty fast. Do you have any comments or any clap action to respond to old Jacob Sparza?
Oh, I was so frustrated.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
I was super, super frustrated because Esparza kept getting out of it. In the weeks leading, I swear it was like dead set, dead to rights. Like I had this choke. And for whatever reason, I could not finish it on him for like the 3 weeks prior to that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I had multiple freaking opportunities on him in the training room to get it. And he looked at me and said that it's okay. You're working on it for your fight. You're going to get it in your fight. And I remember it was like the week prior, like literally 1 week before my fight. And he said that to me. And lo and behold.
Did you remember that in your fight as you're about to hit on him? Did you
Luke
Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi moment where he's like, use the Force, Luke, to destroy the Death Star?
Okay, so the thing I was thinking in the fight was I started it from a bottom position, like from a closed guard bottom position. And then the guy rolled over. And I finished it better from a guard position. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh no. And there was a moment where like his head slipped and I had to pinch back on it. Like I pinched my lat and my elbow together and because I thought I was about to lose it. But in that moment I had terrible self-talk and I was like, I'm not as good in this position. And the next moment I was like, I don't care. I'm about to get it.
Yeah, get the dub.
So I locked my feet in place. I locked my arms in place. And I held that thing for about 20 seconds. And he was squirming. And he did not want to tap. I don't know how he didn't go to sleep. But I was actually the first person in that dude's entire career to ever submit him.
Really?
Amateur, pro, all the things. Like I'm only the second person to ever finish him, both in kickboxing or MMA and like all 20 whatever fights he's had. He's never been finished with a submission. But I was the first and currently only guy to do it.
Dude, that's pretty cool. There you go, Sparza. This is your answer, man. Dude, so what's next, Steven? Do you have any fights coming up? Anything you're training for? What are your big goals for the rest of 2026?
I want to get into a big promotion. Mm-hmm. Like that is my goal. I am closer to the end than the beginning. So I want to make that walk in another big promotion. I got to fight for Bellator. I got the main event for Bellator in Ireland. So Bellator 217, Gallagher versus Graham. So I got to do that. I lost. So I would like to kind of not right the wrong, but I would like to go make a big walk on a big stage and you know, kind of put a beautiful cap on the end of my career. Other than that, I signed up for a 10K race that I run every year. So I'm kind of training for that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the best time I've ever had in that.
Which is what? What's the best time you're shooting for?
The time I'm shooting for is a 45-minute 10K, which I think is like a 7-minute per mile pace or something like that. So I know I can get it because I've come close multiple times. But since my knee surgery, it's been very, very hard to get back to the same pace that I used to. And only recently have I been able to get to that pace or slightly better than on average I was.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we've talked about, I've been through a ton of adversity through things like my knee, like the fact that I started my pro career at 1-3 and I've been able to work myself to 2 professional titles and maybe one step away from like a big show, like a Bellator or like a PFL or, you know, hopefully like a Dana White's Contender Series or UFC or something like that. Man. I know I'm on the older end of the spectrum and like UFC doesn't really like to sign guys like that. But I take inspiration from one of the guys that got signed to the UFC last year. And he was 36 and I'm 35.
Yeah.
So he was on Dana White's Contender Series last year and he got signed. So I kind of take inspiration from that for myself to hopefully make it happen.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. I hope it happens for you.
Thank you.
How can people reach out and get in contact with you if they've just been inspired by this testimony and podcast or if they want to do some private lessons for jiu-jitsu or MMA?
Type in Golden MMA 135, both on Facebook and Instagram.
I'll throw it up on the screen for us.
Those are the easiest ways to get in contact with me. I'm on my phone constantly, whether I like it or not. Scheduling a lot of private lessons and stuff, and a lot of personal training lessons and sessions. Yeah, that's the two easiest places to catch me.
Awesome, man.
So.
Steven, thanks for your time, brother. I really enjoyed sitting down and hearing your testimony and just talking about life, faith, jiu-jitsu, MMA, and just hearing what God has brought you through and where he's taking you in the future.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Can I get one more story out?
Dude, of course you can, man.
Okay, so I want to get this story out. My mom's gonna love this. I like to have this story in most of like the interviews and stuff that I do.
Yeah, let's hear it.
When I was 18 years old, my mom wrote me a note, and she said, "God spoke to me last night and said you're going to do something incredible with children."
Mm.
I don't have any kids of my own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 35 years old. I don't think we're going to. But I call them my jiu-jitsu kids. For the past over decade, for like 10 to 15 years, I've been able to teach, mentor, and help children in a jiu-jitsu environment or an MMA environment to help shape and push their lives in a good direction. And I have gotten so much fulfillment through that. And I was an 18-year-old kid when my mom told me this.
Mm.
I didn't believe her at all. I did not think she was right. I was like, okay, it's a mom being a mom, you know. And less than like 3 years later, I was coaching kids and I was teaching kids classes and stuff like that. And that is now in my workspace, the biggest fulfillment and enjoyment that I have. Like I said earlier, I'm able to now have those kids come to my fights and hopefully inspire them into just everything that they're able to do in life. Whether they want to fight, I can help them with that. Or like we said, the ODG,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm able to guide them through the tough adversities in their life and stuff like that. That is what I get the most joy and pleasure with out of my life. To really feel like I said, God put me on this platform, if you will, to help the next generation or even the current generation.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've had a lot of adults, you know, say the same thing of like, hey, that really helped me get through this, or like go through this moment, or get over my, you know, mountain that I needed to climb.
Yeah, that's powerful, man. Steven, thank you for your time, brother.
Heck yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.